Hello everyone, it's Giri Srinivasan, registered physiotherapist here, the host of Ask Giri Physio Show. I have a very exciting news for you guys. Recently, I gave Blue Talks. Blue Talks is kind of a brother of TEDx. So we had an opportunity to speak about certain things in Edmonton. I am going to present you guys that presentation, which is about 5 simple steps to prevent the self-destructive mode. How human beings are self-destructing themselves by not doing some basic things right. So those are the 5 things I addressed in this talk. It's about 15 to 20 minutes long. I'm sure you will enjoy it. If you enjoy it, please let me know. If you have any questions, please let me know. If you like it, please like, share, and also share it with your friends and families and let me know how it went. Okay? This is the special treat for you from Ask Giri, the Physio Show. Enjoy. Well, how many of you here want to increase your lifespan by 7 to 10 years? You're going to learn the ways for that in the next 20 minutes. To do that, we all have to push that stop button of the self-destructive mode we have been on, especially in the last 2 years. It's free. You don't have to spend a penny on that. You're going to learn that in 20 minutes. Why this topic now? I'm a physiotherapist. What I hear all day? Oh, my back is hurting. I can't bend and pick my grandchildren. My knees are hurting. I can't bend down and do gardening. My child is not rolling over. My dad is falling every day because of poor balance. Those are the chief complaints I hear from my patients for the last 24 years, treating over 16,000 patients in a wide spectrum. Beyond that complaints, beyond the pain and dysfunction, I found there are some underlying factors missing for that construction mode for the life. I collected all those factors, put them into 5 simple steps, and I'm here to present to you guys to empower and educate you so that you can increase your lifespan 7 to 10 years guaranteed. Let's jump right in. Number 1, breathing. Breathing, breathing, breathing. Are we all breathing right in this room? Everybody just take a deep breath for me right now. Take a deep breath. I want to see you guys doing that. And I see a lot of chest moving there. We are not supposed to use our chest when we breathe. We have one big dome muscle right here. It's called diaphragm. The only function of that muscle is to help you to breathe. But a lot of us don't use them. We use our accessory muscles up here on the chest. You can use the chest muscles if you're sprinting or if you're doing strenuous exercise, but not when you're just sitting on your chair and listening to me speak. So that's why the breathing is important, and it's the only switch that human beings have to alter your state of mind and your emotions. That's the only switch you have to take you from the sympathetic mode to the parasympathetic mode. Means from the fight or flight to the calm, collected, and composed mode. You have no other switches you possess in your control to do that. What is sympathetic drive? What is sympathetic overdrive? If Corey walks out of the door, and if he sees an African lion in front of that, how he would feel. That is sympathetic overdrive. And we are all living in the sympathetic overdrive in this, especially the last 2 years. Because of the lot of trauma. Everybody has underwent trauma in the last 2 years. It can be a big T or a small T. Doesn't matter. That's a trauma. What is this sympathetic overdrive doing to us? So many things. Migraines, low back pain, neck pain, acid reflux, erectile dysfunction. You name it. I didn't have a space in the slide, otherwise I would have put so many of them, right? What to do? What to do? What is the take home about this point number 1, breathing? You have to improve your diaphragmatic breathing. You have to expand your belly when you breathe, 360 degrees. Not only in the front. If you put your hand on the sides, if you take a deep breath, your hand should push out. If your hand is not pushing out, you're not doing a 360 expansion. A lot of people, the lower lobes is not expanding very well. They're not taking the oxygen all the way down. There's so many breathing techniques. I can talk about that for 2 hours, but we have 20 minutes. So one simple technique you can follow is the 4-7-8 breathing. I teach my patients all the time. Very simple. Take your breath in for 4 seconds, hold it for 7, and exhale for 8 seconds. Shall we practice one time? Let's go. 4 seconds in through your nose, hold it for 7, and out through your mouth for 8. Just one breath, how nice it feels. I was so impressed when Rosalyn started the meeting today with the breathing and mindfulness and everything. And one more thing I love about her, I'll come to the point later. And you have to breathe through your nostrils. That's very, very important. A lot of us are mouth breathers, even our kids. A lot of our kids are mouth breathers too. You have to watch your kids too. Why? Why it's important? Because it filters the pathogens, and also it produces nitric oxide, guys. Everybody knows, especially men, knows the effect of nitric oxide. It's very important for the blood supply and blood vessel regulations. Very important for immunity. Very important for neurotransmission. Don't underestimate the power of nasal cavity. If you don't know how big it is, put your tongue on the top of the roof of the mouth, slide it backwards all the way to the throat. That's how big the nasal cavity is. Breathing through nostrils is very important because of that. And you should breathe in all different positions, not only in sitting, in standing. When you're cooking, you can do that. You walk your dogs, you do that. You lie down, you do that. All the time. Focus on that. Not your chest, your tummy. Because nobody wants to let the tummy go out and in. We all tuck our tummy in. That's really bad. Don't do that. Let it go. And blow balloons, not only in your kids' birthday parties, all the time. If you want to improve your lung capacity, blow 5-6 balloons a week. Or even a day. It's a wonderful thing to do. Second one, we are moving on to sleep. My previous speaker touched up a little bit on the sleep. But I'm going to go a little bit deeper. Why sleep matters? Because it repairs and maintains your brain cells. And my previous speaker explained the importance of brain health. Imagine you're lying down in the bed, you're trying to sleep, you have 6 maids standing beside you with a broom. As soon as you close your eyes and sleep, those maids are going to get on the job, cleaning and wiping your brain, polishing it nicely for the next day. That's what they're doing. Sleep is your Mr. Clean for the brain. And what are you doing? Sitting there and scrolling and scrolling and scrolling, not letting those maids to come onto your brain and clean them. Right? That's why it's important. And it regulates your growth hormones. It regulates your appetite. Especially for kids, sleep, what does sleep does? It integrates daily learning to prior experience. And that's why it's very important for kids to go to bed and on time and get up on time. Sleep deficiency, as you know, it doesn't not only affect your brain and also your body and emotions. We all know how grumpy we are when you don't get enough sleep the next day. I don't have to explain that, right? And 1 out of 5 car accidents in North America happens because of sleep deprivation. Hey, I'm a physiotherapist. Car accidents is my business. Right? More car accidents, more money for me. But I'm not going to be selfish here. I want to teach the world what's going to happen, how to prevent it. Who are the sleep stealers and what are the sleep stealers? The main culprit, your phone. Your iPhones and Samsungs and your tablets. We lie down on the bed, okay, take that phone, start scrolling. Next thing you know, 2 hours is gone by the clock. It's 12 o'clock. My goodness, I have to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning. What the hell I'm doing? Throw the phone and then try to sleep after that. After absorbing all the blue lights in your eyes, you try to sleep for 2 hours. What are we doing? Isn't it self-destruction? Who's binge watching Netflix all night? And you're mad with your husband, you go to the next room and start watching there. Honey, I'm too tired, but you're not sleeping, you're scrolling. Right? And caffeine is bad for some people, not for all, but you can control it very easily. Next thing we are moving on, we talked about breathing, we talked about sleep. The next is the social. Because at the end of this presentation, I'm going to give you a secret formula, a $1 billion unpatented secret formula for longevity of life. Right? And that formula, you're going to learn it here on the Blue Talk stage. The next is social. Social integration, guys. It's a #1 factor in the whole world for the longevity of life. Exercise comes after that. Believe me, social integration is #1. That's why people in the blue zones of the world live like more than 100 years happily ever after. What are the blue zones of the world? We got Okinawa in Japan, Nicayo in Costa Rica, Sardinia in Italy, and we have Icaria in Greece, and Loma Linda in California. All these places, people live happily ever after. There are more centurions in these places. How? Because their lifestyle. They meet people, they talk to people, they smile, they drink wine. That's why they are. They walk up and down the hills. They don't go to gym every evening. No, they don't. They integrate the movement in the lifestyle, in day-to-day life. They don't sit on the chair for 8 hours and go gym, workout in Good Life Fitness for 1 hour in the evening. You think it's unwinding all the sitting you did? No, it's not. You can be proud of yourself, not feeling guilty, but it's not unwinding your 8 hours of sitting on your bum. And in which case it's 12 hours, isn't it? 14 hours sitting. You cannot undo that. You got to move throughout your day. That's what very important is. And we all need weak and strong bonds in our life. It can be colleagues or friends or family or dogs or pets, doesn't matter. And social isolation is a public health risk. And we have a psychologist in the group. Psychologists in Edmonton are so busy because so much mental health problems nowadays with kids and adults. In the last 2 years of social isolation, what cost us to? Depression is so much. I'm treating a lot of teenagers every day. They're not even opening their mouth. How's school? Good. How's your day? Good. Is there any other words in the vocabulary other than good? Yeah. So what's happening to our kids? Are they losing the social integration, the quality? What are we doing about it? Isn't it self-destruction? I'm just furious, You think, oh, I'm on a Zoom all day, I meet people. Hell no! Digital interaction is not the same. When you meet somebody face to face, when you have eye contact, when you shake your hands, so much beautiful neurotransmitters and opioids in your brain secretes and overflows into your body. That system regenerates. That touch is very powerful, guys. That's my profession. I'm a physical therapist. I touch people. That itself is a healer. You know how many people are devoid of touches in the social isolation periods? People are not being touched, guys, in 2 years. Think about it for a second. What kind of self-destruction is that? Right? So, when you see people, when you talk to people, when you shake hands, you create much richer brain signatures. And that's very important for our health to prevent us from self-destruction. You need at least 3 major relationships. I don't care what it is. Your husband and 2 kids, or your wife and 2 dogs, or dogs and cats. I don't care. You need to have 3 important relationships which you interact every day in your life. It can be a teddy bear. I don't care. Right? That's very important. Number 4, moving on to movement. Movement is my cup of tea. I am a movement specialist. Even though I'm a specialist in that, I put that number 4, not number 1. Why? Because I do know your breathing, sleep, and social comes before movement. I'm not saying that research says that. So, you're better off going to the Tim Hortons and talk to your friend than going to gym and exercise? You can think about it, right? So, then what is the number 1 reason to move? Come on, audience, the question for you guys. What is the number 1 reason to move? Longevity? Anybody else? Stress, decrease stress, great point. But the number 1 reason to move is because you can. That's the number 1 reason. We all can, right? Study shows, guys, 1/3 of the North American population lives a sedentary lifestyle. 1/3. That's huge. That's scary. That's huge. So this body, this beautiful architecture is created not to sit on the chair for 8 to 12 hours, to lift, to carry, to push, to pull, to crawl, to bend, to kneel, to roll. How many of these things we are doing it every day? Just ask yourself. Ask yourself how many of these things you are doing it every day. We don't. Patients come to me, I assess them, I'll ask them to, can you look up the ceiling? They do this. Look up the ceiling. Because they forgot, their brain forgot how to look up the ceiling. They don't know this. They don't know how to move their neck. Trust me, it's not a joke, it's reality. People are forgetting the movements of their body because how many times in a day you look up? Zero. The whole world is in front of you. You are here. Everything is here. When is the last time you looked up? Did you pick an apple from a tree or a lemon? No. People are forgetting, guys. I'm so scared how the babies are going to be born 200 years from now. We have 14 joints and 36 muscles to look up. We are not using it at all. Then babies are going to be born like this in 200 years. They'll be like this. Because what you don't use, we lose. We don't have tail right now because we didn't use the tail. We don't have a tail. If you don't use those muscles, we will lose it. All the joints will be fused when we are born after 200 years. That's my topic for TEDx talk. Human 2300. Yeah. Hey, don't leak it out and keep it secret. Okay. So we talked about that. The 3 takeaways I wanted to take. That's why I told I love my MC because she's still barefooted. She's still barefooted. That's my first love when she came on the stage. I saw her feet. I was in love with her. Right? You have to allow yourself to connect to the earth. Don't let anybody tell you that you have to wear this orthotics, that orthotics, Nike shoe, this control, that control. Your feet are the beautiful architecture. Beautiful arches, beautiful. 23 joints, 36 muscles, so much. Let them breathe. Don't cast them in the shoes all day. I have patients wearing slippers and socks in the house all the time. Why the hell? Come on, let the feet breathe. Don't cast it all the time. And spend time on the floor. Move the chairs away, sofas away. Get down on the floor, guys, with your kids. Move your hips in different ways, knees in different ways, body in different ways. Connect to the earth. Floor is your friend. Chairs are not good. And squat every day. Don't tell me you have knee pain and back pain. Everybody can squat. This is squat, this is squat, this is squat, this is also squat. Don't tell me you can't do it. You can take a support, you can do it. Squatting is very important. It's a fundamental movement. Last time, most of you are squatted when you were 8 months old. You haven't squatted after that. Because we sit in a 90-90 potty. You don't squat. Look at the population in some of the countries, they don't have any hip replacements or knee replacements because they squat down to the earth to defecate. Why North America has so much constipation problem? Because our potties, we don't squat to defecate, we just sit 90-90. That spoils your anorectal angle, you can't defecate in that angle. That's why the squatty potties are coming now. You have to elevate your knee so that your hip goes down, anorectal angle changes, you can defecate better. Don't spend money on constipation medications, just increase your angle of your hips. Another self-destruction mode. You can tolerate and you can change. Those are the 3 takeaways, guys. Allow your feet to breathe like her, and then squat every day, spend some time on the floor. Now we are moving on to the next one, and the last one is mindfulness. What is mindfulness? It's not breathing. It's not meditation. It's not yoga. It's not shutting yourself in the dark room. It's not mindfulness. So what it is? Let's go there. Before that, we should know that our mind wanders 47% of the time without your pings and dings from your phones and tablets. Add that to it, that will be 98%. Right? Whatever we focus, our brain improves it. Whatever we practice, it improves it. So, what is mindfulness? It is intentionally paying attention with kindness. That's all mindfulness is. Example, you go in the grocery line in Safeway or wherever it is. You talk to the cashier, hey Diana, how are you doing today? Have you seen the smile in her face? Have you seen the sparkle in her face when you call her with the first name? How many of us doing that? I go to work, George is cleaning the snow. Hey George, thanks for cleaning, man. You're letting me not to fall today. How does he feel? Do you mean it? That is mindfulness. How many of us are practicing that every day with the people we meet? Your colleagues or grocery store clerk or snow guy, whoever it is. That one sentence is mindfulness. That's what important is. Why? The research shows the mindfulness strengthens immunity. It improves cortisol secretion. Cortisol is very important steroid, which helps us to regulate the metabolism of glucose. It helps us to regulate the body blood pressure. You don't have to take blood pressure medication, guys. Just say hi to people. That's it. You don't want antihypertensive medications. You don't have diabetic medication. Say hi. How simple is that? Hey, it's free. It's free. And brain on shame shuts down everything. That's why it's very important for kids especially. Mindfulness reduces the self-judgment and the shame. When you put that on the kids, they cannot learn. Imagine that if the learning centers shut down and the guys are not, or kids are not sleeping well, they're not integrating the learning to the prior experience, all this damages the little brain. So mindfulness and sleeping is not only for us. All these things is not only for us, it's also for our kids. Make sure you get them knowing all these things to work well on that. So my secret formula here, $1 billion secret formula, is B S square M square. Breathing, social, sleep, movement, and mindfulness. If you follow this, guarantee you're going to live another 7 to 10 years longer than what you're supposed to. So, on a final note, take a deep breath. Great timing, isn't it? Take a deep breath, put the damn phone away, right? Talk to people in person, say hi, have eye contact, shake hands, move well, move often, and be kind intentionally. Thank you.